Hey, what's up, everybody? Armchair Quarterback here. Basically, I just did this video to kind of talk about uh, the whole debate that's going on right now about Tom Brady and whether or not he's the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Um, so a lot of people are saying yes, and there are some people still saying no. Um, I just kind of wanted to talk about how I feel about it. Um, for those that don't know, and this is the first video you may have watched that I've done, I hate Tom Brady, despise him. I can't stand the guy, and the Patriots too. The whole team. I'm a Steelers fan, and I hate the Patriots. I hate Brady. I hate Belichick. I wish a plague upon them. But so the question has been asked: is Tom Brady the greatest of all time? So my opinion on it is, yeah, he is. As much as it pains me to say it, as much as I hate it and don't want to admit it, Tom Brady is the greatest of all time. Now, I know that a lot of people are going to throw out the controversies, Deflategate, Spygate, the Tuck Rule. And those are all legitimate arguments, but the truth of the matter is, Spygate did give them a coaching advantage. But a lot of the plays that the Rams used in the walkthrough, I don't think they even used in the game. And so, I mean, it's not like the Rams did every play that they ran in the Super Bowl in their walkthrough, Deflategate, yes, it gave Brady an unfair advantage in the conference game against the Colts, but the truth of the matter is the Colts never really showed up for that game anyway. And, so, yeah, it's a concern, but, I don't know. That one's kind of iffy, and, he did cheat. It's a cheating thing. But, I mean, deflated balls are a lot different than shaving points and refs making all the bad calls to let you make it. But, and then there's the Tuck Rule, which to this day, I will say, was a fumble. I watched it when it happened. It was a fumble. But that happens. It happens in all games. Refs miss calls and make the wrong call. It happens, so I can't really hold that one against him. Should he have been in the Super Bowl after that? Probably not. The Raiders probably, if that's ruled a fumble, go on to win that game. So, who knows with that one? But, like I said, that kind of thing happens. It's happened time and time again throughout the history of the NFL. The refs make mistakes, and that's on the refs. It's not on Tom Brady. So that doesn't taint his legacy in any way, in my opinion. So, the fact is, you just can't argue with him having 5 rings, man. He's the only quarterback with 5 rings. Now, he's not the only player with 5 rings. A lot of people, especially the younger generation, don't realize that Mr. Charles Haley has 5 rings. And that is a fantastic accomplishment. But I will say this. In a way, Haley did benefit from being on 2 very good teams. He went from being on a very good 49ers team that was winning Super Bowls to going to a very good Dallas Cowboys team that was winning Super Bowls. So, Tom Brady did it with a lot less, But that doesn't take anything away from the fact that Charles Haley did it. Why he doesn't get mentioned in the same breath as a lot of other great defensive players is beyond me. I've always wondered that. People always talk about Lawrence Taylor. They always talk about Brian Urlacher. They always talk about this guy. And I guess it's just because, more recent players. But, I mean, even when you mention the legends, like Taylor, like, Mean Joe Green, or I'm sorry, there's a lot of greats that are slipping my mind right now. Reggie Jackson, ones like that. I don't know. I never understood why Charles Haley isn't always mentioned in that, because the man has 5 Super Bowl rings, so, and he should get tremendous respect for that. But like I said, Brady's the only quarterback with 5 rings. Okay, and you look at that comeback. Down 25 points in the third quarter. How many quarterbacks do you think that could have pulled that off? There's not many. I mean, I think Peyton Manning could have pulled it off. Joe Montana, Dan Marino, and John Elway, and that's pretty much it. I don't think there's too many others that could have pulled that off. And there's a lot of argument about Peyton Manning being the greatest of all time. And don't get me wrong, Manning is the best quarterback to ever play the game. But to be the greatest of all times, it's not just about stats and what you did, as far as numbers. It's also about championships. When you look at the greatest of all times in sports, they won championships. Michael Jordan, greatest of all time in basketball. And he had insane talent, but he also won championships. That's what it takes. Because if you're not winning the big one, then you're not doing enough, And unfortunately for Peyton, it just didn't happen. It wasn't because of him. It was because of the team that he was on. I mean, I honestly believe that if you put Peyton Manning on the Patriots team and Brady was with the Colts, they would have both had historically different careers. Not only would Peyton have still had the stats that he had, but he'd have probably had 7 rings. The Patriots made it to 7 Super Bowls. I think Peyton would have beaten his brother because he was a game manager. He could read defenses and made their lives a living hell. He just couldn't get over that Patriots hump because the Patriots had his number because Bill Belichick is a genius. And he is the GOAT as far as coaching goes, in my opinion. Despite all the scandals, Bill Belichick is the greatest coach of all time. And I think one of these days they're going to change the name of the trophy from the Lombardi to the Belichick. That's a joke, so save the hate mail. I'm having a little fun. But, I mean, Belichick is that good. And I think Brady benefited a lot from that, yes. But Brady still had to execute the plays and still had to make the throws, and that's what he did. You look at the whole body of work, and Brady is the greatest of all time. He has the stats. He wins the big games. He's made the comebacks. He's a guy that his team can depend on. He is a leader. He's all that. And granted, this comeback, yeah, a lot of it, Brady had 400-something yards, but a lot of that was the receivers with yards after catch. White, in my opinion, was the MVP of that game. And even Brady said that himself. White should have won the MVP because he was. He was a beast in that game. A lot of Brady's yardage was little dink and dunk passes for 2 or 3 yards to White or Edelman or Amendola or Hogan, and then they did their thing and got all the yardage. So, but even despite that, he still had to make those throws, and he still was calm, cool, and collected and kept his team focused and kept them going when it seemed like there was no way in hell that they were going to do it. I mean, he did it. And that's Brady. That's why he's the greatest of all time, So, basically, that's just how I feel about it, Tom Brady, unfortunately, is the greatest of all time. As much as I hate it, he is. And the unfortunate thing is the bastard says he's coming back. He's not quitting. I wish he would. I wished him and Belichick would just go home and stop. You've done it. You've got 5 rings. Go home. All of us Steelers fans, Colts fans, Broncos fans, we all wished you would just go away. Go away. Go. Go home. Go. Please. So, anyway, that's just how I feel about it. And until next time, peace out and go Steelers.